I think I can lay claim to having attended more church committee meetings than probably anybody in our church over the years. I've been to quite a few. So I want you to know, as sincerely as I can say it, that our Children's Space Committee that has been working for 36 months has done as good a job as any committee I have ever seen. It's been wonderful, hard work they have done, and they have dreamed a mammoth dream of the best possible space that we could provide for our children, our preschoolers, and our up through grade 5. They have visited multiple places, have spent a lot of energy on best practices, have learned a great deal about not just buildings, but about children's ministry. They've made multiple reports to the church and have gotten approval every step of the journey for the next part of that process. They've done a great job, and I think our congregation should not only be gratefully appreciative of them, but should really listen attentively to the good work they've done. Their work has been particularly guided by our 2020 vision path, and our first vision priority that we worked out through our vision process is about next generations. It says, our engaging and relevant ministry to next generation fosters a confident, lifelong relationship with Jesus Christ. It's been obvious to those working with our preschoolers and children that in order to fulfill that priority, we needed to address our children's space here. So that's the reason we have been working on this. We want to provide the best space we can. We want it to be as safe and secure as it can possibly be, with one controlled entrance to our preschoolers and children's space. We want to have one building so families won't have to walk across the campus to deposit 2 or 3 children in the preschool children and youth area. We want the entrance to be controlled. We want to have space for growth. And frankly, we want to have space for our adults because we are out of Sunday school space for adults. But by making our basement and our education building free, we will have multiple opportunities for starting some new classes for adults as well. We want a building that is designed for children, for now and for the future, for the way we teach children today, for the kind of technology that is so important. We want it to be able to support our Creative Learning Center as it expands and goes to more and more all day and reaches more families with that wonderful ministry and meets the need of our community. Our initial cost projections is that in order to do the building as well as some parking lot work and lighting and a few other projects that we want to do to the rest of the facility, our initial projections are somewhere around $9 to $10 million. We will pay off our current mortgage on our previous building program, which is only about $160,000. We will pay that off regardless of whether we vote to do this building or not, and it will be paid off within a year from now. I am quite confident of that. So we're now in the midst of a campaign to seek to raise $6 to $7 million in pledges that would be paid out over a 3 to 5 year period. In addition to that money from this Next Generations campaign, we anticipate having a mortgage somewhere around $3 million at the end of the payout of our campaign. After the construction loan has been paid down, we think it will be somewhere around $3 million, which is in the same vicinity as where we were with our previous building program's mortgage. We have, in addition to the campaign funds that we hope to raise, we have other sources to be paying on that mortgage. We now receive around $150,000 from our general endowment that has now over $3 million in it. And that money has historically gone to pay on our mortgage, and we hope that it continue to be used for that purpose. Our Creative Learning Center, our weekday preschool, has done a detailed pro forma business plan that's been critiqued by some of the best around, and we believe we have solid projections of how they can help to pay not only for their own expenses with this expanded preschool and their utilities and their custodial, but they can also help to pay for the mortgage some as well. We also have a whole new source of support. Our legacy team is working on gifts through wills and trust and insurance, and we already have some substantial commitments of funds that will come through that vehicle to help pay for our building. And then we anticipate that at the end, if our legacy gifts have not paid off this mortgage, we anticipate in maybe 5 to 7 years having a second short campaign in which we will knock out this new mortgage. In other words, we do not anticipate carrying this mortgage more than probably 7 or 8 years, we hope. Our budget is doing much better. We ended last year with a budget surplus, and the prospects are good. We know that it will increase our budget somewhere around $100,000 to add on this new building, but about half of that will be carried by the weekday preschool as they contribute to our budget. Now is a great time to do this building because the interest rates are low. In a real sense, there may be more risk to us to not do this than to take the great risk of trying to connect our resources with this huge dream and let God lead us to do the best we can for the next generations. This really is another defining moment for Second Baptist Church, and I hope that you will pray and seek the Lord's heart about what He would have you have us to do for the next generations.